So we want to finish up this section by looking at an in context problem. And so we say, let M represent the number of months the money is in account for two people that have separate accounts. So we want to write expressions. So again, these are expressions, not equations. So there's no equal sign or inequality signs. And for each savings account. So person A's savings account, and I'm just going to highlight person A in blue. And so person A's savings account begins with $570, and they save $120 per month. So since they're saving, it's addition, and they're doing $120 every month, which is kind of that understanding what the story, the context is telling us. And then person B, and I'll highlight person B in this green color. So person B begins with $810 and is saving $55 a month. So they start out with more, but they are not saving as much each month. So now in letter C, which is the top of page 52, write the inequality that represents the number of months when person B has more than or the same amount of money as person A. So we want to know has more than or the same amount. Okay, so that's going to be an inequality symbol. And we want person A and person B. Okay, so person B, is $810 plus $55 each month, has more than or the same amount, so is greater than or equal to what person A has, and person A is the 570 plus 120M. Now this time we don't have parentheses, but we do have variables on both sides. So we are going to move this up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and deconstruct. So we're going to solve this inequality. So I'm going to rewrite it. I'm just going to rewrite it as 810 plus 55M is greater than or equal to 570 plus 120M. And we have an option here. Again, we can either move the 55M to the other side, to the right-hand side, or we can take the 120M and move it to the left-hand side. And just matter of course structure or the way that most people work with these, I am going to move the M to the left-hand side. So we have the variables on the left-hand side. So I'm going to subtract the 120M. Again, you don't have to do it this way. You can move the 55M if you want to. And when we subtract the 120M, we end up with a negative amount. So we have 810 minus 65M is greater than or equal to 570. Now we will have to move the 810. So we're going to subtract 810. And we end up with negative 65M is greater than or equal to negative 240. And now we're going to divide by negative 65, and since we're working with an inequality, that means that we are going to have to change the direction of our inequality. So we're going to divide negative 65 and change direction. And so M is less than or equal to, and I'm going to round this answer to 3.69 months. All right, so state the answer in a complete sentence. So this is indicating that person B has more than or the same as person A from month 0 to month 3.69. Now, the reason month 0, even though this says that the number of months is less than, we can't have the money in an account in the negative amount. So we're going to start with month 0 and go all the way up to month 3.69. I'm just going to briefly check my answer, and I'm going to plug in 4, so 4 months for both person B's account and person A's account, and make sure that in month 4 that person B has now less than person A, because it's only supposed to be between 0 and 3.69 months. So I'm just going to do this off to the side. So if I take person B's account, and person B's account was 810 plus 55. So I'm just going to evaluate this for for month number 4. When we put that in the calculator, we end up with $1,030. And if we did this right, this should be less than whatever person A is going to have. And person A is $570 plus $120 for the 4 months. And again, putting this into the calculator, we end up with $1,050, which means that we did this correctly so in month 4, which is greater than 3.69, person B has now less than what person A